Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ariel and we're here to talk about career exploration, life transitions, and self-actualization. So today we're going to talk about our habits. I was reading this book called The Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I've talked about habits in a few different ways, but there's this exercise that I like in the book, and it's basically for us to talk about which habits are effective and which habits aren't so effective. We explored the concept that there are no good or bad habits, but one exercise that comes up in the book is that you can actually list out your activities and you can take stock of the habits that are actually effective for you or not. Now, in mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, this exercise is also done, and it's called nourishing habits versus draining habits. So I want you to just to think about being aware of your activities so that you can learn to change your habits. You can't change your habits until you're aware of what you do on a daily basis, and then you can start to put strategies together so you can actually change those things. So up next, we're going to actually get into this exercise so you can put one together for yourself. In this exercise, we're going to talk about getting aware of what our habits are so that we can start to learn how to make changes in our life. You can't make a huge change or a transition unless you identify where you are today. So this exercise is going to be, it's called the habit scorecard. And this comes from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. So what we're going to do is create a scorecard for our own habits. So when you're aware of your habits, the first thing is just to notice what's going on in your life. The next thing that you can do is start to evaluate which habits are effective habits and which ones aren't so much. Because remember, there are no good habits or bad habits, they're just effective habits. And if your habits are effective, that means it's ultimately getting you where you want to go in the long run. So in this exercise, I want you to grab a sheet of paper and I want you to list out the things that you do in your morning routine. So we're going to do one together. First thing in the morning, of course, you wake up. Next, you might turn off your alarm. Okay? Then after you turn off your alarm, what do you do next? Some of us, I'm not calling nobody out, but some of us check our phone. Right? So check our phone, and let's just be a little bit specific. So you might be checking emails from the day before, or you might be on IG. I'm not judging. So, you check your phone, and then next you hop out of bed, and then you might go to the bathroom. That morning rush, that's normal. So we go to the bathroom, and then what do? You might drink a cup of water, drink some water, or you might weigh yourself. A lot of us have our weight goals. So weighing yourself is another one. Check your weight. I'm going to put weigh yourself. Okay? Then what do you do next? Do you work out? Do you take a shower? I work out, so I'm going to put work out. Okay? And then after I work out, then I come back up from the sauna or from my workout and I would take a shower. So if your morning is looking like mine, then we're literally on the same track and you might be able to make some of the same evaluations that I can make. So when you take your shower after you're done, do you brush your teeth? Do you brush your teeth when you first wake up in the morning, or do you brush your teeth after you've done all the stuff that you need to do? Maybe you're brushing your teeth somewhere around here. We're just putting things down here that might not even be in a ritual right now, but we're just taking stock of all the stuff that we do in the morning. It's not in any particular order, okay? So then you might floss your teeth. Floss your teeth. All right, and then you also might just put on deodorant. Put on deodorant and then put on clothes, right? All right. Now, do you listen to clothes? Don't mind me. If you listen to music in the morning, do you turn on the radio? And then or turn on the news? If you turn on the news before you check your phone, just be aware of what it is that you do. So you turn on the news, you put on some clothes, you're starting to get ready for your day, and then you have to eat. So maybe you make a cup of oatmeal. Right? So you make some oatmeal, and then if you're a coffee drinker, I'm gonna put coffee here because a lot of us out here drink coffee, but I like tea. So I start my day off with tea plus my drink of water. So we're just literally taking stock of our day. The next step that you actually, so once you have a full list of what your behaviors are, just in general, you need to ask yourself which ones are good habits or bad habits or neutral habits. This is the only time that we're going to actually talk about good habits or bad habits. So the reason I'm saying that is because if you have good habits, then you'll want to put a plus sign. If you would say, okay, it's not really an effective habit, you want to put a minus sign. And if it's a neutral habit, if it doesn't really do one way or the other to your success, then we'll call it a neutral habit. So let's go through and let's score our habits as positive, negative, or neutral. Now, your analysis on what's a good habit for you and what's a bad habit for you is literally going to depend on your life. So you'll notice here I have coffee or tea here as a plus. But if you like your coffee with a bunch of sugar and a bunch of milk, and that's your normal habit, that's what you do at Starbucks, you go and get that extra milk, extra sugar latte, then you might want to say, okay, so if I have weight goals, this coffee here is a negative, right? So you might actually make that a negative. And as you take stock of your habits, you'll be able to identify, all right, I wake up at 5 o'clock. That's a good thing. Of course, waking up in the morning at any time is good. Okay, checking the phone as soon as I open my eyes maybe isn't the best thing. So what do I need to identify? What do I need to change in this area so that I can actually put myself on a better trajectory? I've identified 2 really good areas that we can update our habits. And it depends on what your goals are. So if you have a weight loss goal, maybe it's a priority for you to change that coffee. Or if you know that every time you turn on the news, it's always something negative, or you turn on the 5 o'clock news, which is about all the local things, the burn down, the houses that burn down and children that are missing, then maybe this is actually a negative for you. Notice I put negative. But if you like to cut on the, Good Morning America and you start to learn about your favorite actor or something, maybe this is a plus for you, because maybe you want to be an actress and maybe you're doing research on your industry. So, like I said, this scorecard is all dependent on your life. What I want you to do now, go grab your sheet of paper if you haven't done this exercise with me, and do this scorecard for your morning routine. After you do your morning routine, do it for your nightly routine. And then identify one habit, just one. You don't have to change your whole life. Just one habit for your morning and your nightly routine that you can either add, subtract, or neutralize so that it can add to your effective habits list. All right? So go out and be great, guys. I want you to check out this habit scorecard and check out how your life is going.